Hi dear students, welcome to the last section or the last topic from the electric field and electric charge. The last video we have completed the theory part, and today we are going to see the different types of problems. We will touch different areas of the chapters we can touch it upon, and based on that we will do few questions of the different concepts are involved. So we will move to the classroom discussion questions here, and we have a set of 45 questions are there in total. We will do one by one. Okay, so let's move with we will start with our first question. So classroom discussions questions, we are discussing different questions based on the theory whatever we have learned till today. Okay, so we'll start question number 1. Okay, the surface charge density of a thin charged disk of radius r is sigma. The value of electric field at the center of the disk is sigma divided by 2 epsilon 0. With respect to the field at the center, electric field along the axis at a distance r from the center of the disk reduces by. So the question is related to disk, and we know the formula which is related to electric field intensity due to a disk. Before going to the formula, I forgot to mention one thing. Now we have learned about different theoretical concepts, right? From first day till the last video, we have learned lots of formulas will be there. So each of every sessions, if I come up, then definitely it will be end up with some set of derivation and some set of formula. What you have to do means you have to maintain one separate notebook. Okay, that notebook you have to name it as formula book. This normally we will do it in Brainiacs. So we will name here it is as a formula book. So you have to maintain one formula book. Now theory topic is over. What you have to do means you have to write the chapter heading, then each of your topic, for example, electric field intensity due to a dipole along the axis, along the equatorial point, at any point. So we have learned different formulas. So just to write a bullet point, for example, electric field intensity at the axis of a dipole is equal to k into 2p by x cube. So similarly, you can write various formula we have learned under each of this topic. Okay, so that if you are doing some questions now also, in future also, if you are not remembering, because we all are human beings, we will not remember every formulas. In case if you forget, as a quick revisions you can go through this one. And then another advantages of this one means just 1 or 2 days before the examinations also you can refer these parts. So that is quite important to maintain a formula book. Now itself you can start, so that it is easy. We cannot do it on later time after completing all the chapters. Now it is one by one it is going, so you can do it now itself. So without wasting the time, let's move to the first question. Okay, so what is given here? Question is talking about a disk. We need to find out electric field intensity due to a disk. So question number 1. Electric field intensity due to a disk is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0 1 minus x divided by root of r square plus x square. This is the formula we know. Next, electric field at the center is given. Center means x equal to 0. So E at the center is given. When x is equal to 0, what will come? Sigma divided by 2 epsilon 0. X is the distance. In case of a disk, if x distance away, then the electric field here, this is given as this formula. Now here we don't have a disk kind of a disk at a distance of x meter away. Center means x will be equal to 0. What is the speciality? X will be equal to 0 at the center. Question is asking, that is already given, sigma by 2 epsilon 0 is given in the question, and with respect to the field at the center, electric field along the axis at a distance of r meter away. Now question is asking at a distance of r what will happen. So what is the formula? E at a distance of r will be equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon 0 1 minus r divided by root of r square plus r square. What will come? 2 r square. So if you simplify this one, sigma divided by 2 epsilon 0, r and r will get cancels. 1 divided by 1 by root 2 is the formula, we got it. Okay, Next, what we will going to do, electric field at the center and electric field at a distance of r meter away. Question is asking about the percentage, okay, field along the axis at a distance r from the center of the disk reduces by. So center of the disk sigma by epsilon 0 is the highest. So 1 by sigma by epsilon 2 epsilon 0 will be here, and that is minus how much will be coming, 1 divided by root 2. Okay, now if you compare these two formulas, at the center how much it is there, sigma by 2 epsilon 0. At a distance of r, how much will be there, sigma by, if you split this one, sigma divided by 2 epsilon 0 minus extra 1 by root 2 into sigma divided by 2 epsilon 0. So comparable to center, this formula is reduced by how much? This is the reduction factor. Correct. This is a reduction factor. So already sigma by 2 epsilon 0 at the center, with respect to center, this is center value. From the center, this is reduced this much. How much it is reduced? Sigma by 2 epsilon 0, if you take it outside, how much it is reduced? 1 minus 1 by 1. This is the original value. 1 by root 2 times it is reduced. 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 means what? 1 divided by root 2. If you need to convert into percentage, means what we have to do? We have to multiply it with 100. So 1 by root 2 times it is reduced. 1 by root 2 means 1 by root 2. 1.414 into 100. This is 0.707 into 100, which means what? 70.7 percentage. So it is reduced by 70.7 percentage. It is there in option A. So option A is the right answer for the question number 1. Hope you understood, right? So that's what I'm telling. If you're hearing the word called disk, then this formula has to come to our mind. Without that, we cannot proceed all these steps. That's what I strongly recommended you to maintain the formula book, because formula book is quite important to answer such kind of questions, because in physics some or numerical based questions are majority are based on the formula. So formula you have to remember, for that you have to maintain the formula book. Let's go to the next question, question number 2. Okay, so question number 2, second question. Solid conducting sphere of radius A has a net charge positive 2q. So some diagrams are given on the right side of the question. I am just drawing the diagram. I'll keep it like this, A, and we have another line along this line. So this radius is A, and this radius is B is given, and this radius is C is given. A solid conducting sphere of radius A has a net positive. So this will have a net positive charge of plus 2q, that is given in the question. A conducting spherical shell means inner is empty, inner radius is B and outer radius is C respectively. It is given, it's well understood. Okay, B and outer radius is C, concentrics with the solid sphere and has a net charges of minus q will be there. So this will have, this solid conducting sphere will have a charges of minus q, which means here this conducting wire will have a charge of minus q. The surface charge density of the inner and outer surface of the spherical shell. So we need to find out the surface charge density here. This is, I am giving sigma 1. We need to find out surface charge density here called sigma 2, inner and outer shell. This was the question. Surface charge density basic formula is what? Surface charge density means charge per area. Many times I told while I am taking the theory itself. Charge per area. Here one important concept will be there. Listen here. Plus 2q will be here on this A circle. Okay. Then what will happen? We have learned in the first video itself, we have learned two concepts. Charging by conduction, charging by induction. So conduction means whenever there is a contact, charge will transfer from one body to another. Whenever there is no contact, charges will be still can induces on the other body, which means here plus 2q will be here. Here on this surface what will come? Opposite charge minus 2q will come. Okay, this minus 2q will induce, the other end what will induce? Plus 2q, just opposite. Here plus means minus, here minus means here plus will induce us. So with respect to the inner surface whose radius will be equal to what? C. So sigma 1 will be equal to charge per area. What is the charge on the inner circle? Minus 2q divided by area of this one is 4 pi r square. R means what? C square. And sigma 2 total charge. Here plus 2q is induced, but already what is the existing charge will be there? Minus q. So what is the total charge? Plus 2q plus minus q. Minus q is already there, it is given in the question. And due to charging by induction, the plus 2q is come here extra. So plus 2q plus minus q divided by what is the area of this one? No, this area inner circle is radius 4 pi b square. For outer one 4 pi c square. Okay, inner one b ആണ് radius, outer one radius c ആണ്. So this has no change, this we can simplify. So this become q divided by 4 pi c square. This is the answer, sigma 1 and sigma 2. So minus 2q divided by 4 pi b square and q divided by 4 pi c square. This is matching with your option number A in the second question. Okay, so the only concept you have to remember again, sigma, here two concepts will be there. One is a formula of sigma, charge divided by area, that you have to remember, point number 1. Point number 2 means charging by induction property will be there. Here plus 2q then minus 2q will induce here. Here it is minus 2q then plus 2q will induce here, and this will go from inner side to outer side. Then we will see what is the total charge here. If the question is asking what is the surface charge density on the circle A, then what you will say? 2q divided by 4 pi a square. For B has total charge how much? Minus 2q. So minus 2q divided by 4 pi b square. Next we'll go to C. See what is the charge? Charging by induction give plus 2q. Already I put a charge called minus q. So plus 2q with minus 2q, q divided by 4 pi c square. For all this kind of model of question, you always start from the center and you will go next level. Okay, so charging by induction plus surface charge density is the concept behind this question. We'll move to the next question. Third question. Two equally charged identical metal spheres A and B are repel each other with a force called F. So I read the question, I just make it as a diagram. Two equally charged A and B separated by a distance metal sphere repel each other with a force called F. So the force between these two bodies is called F, clear. The spheres are kept fixed distance R between them. So the distance between them is how much? It is called R. A third identical charge but uncharged sphere is brought in contact with A. Now this is Q charge, this is Q charge, two bodies A and B. Now a third charge is coming which is in contact with the body called A, and so what will happen? The charging two bodies, one charge is called Q, another body A will be here and C will be here. C has no charge. When two bodies are in getting contact, charge sharing will happen. After disconnecting these two, A body and C body, what's the charge? Q by 2 and Q by 2. Now the charge of A is Q by 2, B is still Q, and another charge I am placing here, and this charge will have a charges of Q by 2. This is the body called C. Okay, and then placed at the midpoint of the line joining of A and B. I placed at the midpoint. Magnitude of net electric force on C. C is net force. We have to find out the net force. Okay, so net force on Q means the force due to this charge. Okay, so this both are positive, so it's a repulsive force. This body will move like this one, F1 force, and Q2 and Q both are positive, will not attract, this will move like this one. So two force will be there, F1 force and F2 force. Question is asking about the magnitude of the net electric force on C. Total force we have to see. So both the forces are in opposite direction. So to find out the net force, two vectors are acting in opposite direction means what we will do? We will subtract. q by 2 equal sign, so this will not attract, this will move away, so that force is F1. Q by 2 and q will not attract, so q2 will move backward because of repulsion. So we will find both F1 and F2. So F1 will be equal to first force K into q square by 4, q1 q2, q by 2 അതാണ് F1 divided by distance between them, which is what, r by 2 the whole square, r square by 4. Okay, so 4 and 4 will get cancelled, so it become k q square by r square. Let's find out F2 also. F2 is given k into q by 2 into q by 2. So q square by 2 divided by distance between them, r square divided by 4. Central, it is placed at the center, so half of the distance. So this will become what? 2 into k q square by r square. So by comparing F1 and F2, which one will be higher? F2 is higher than F1. So to find out total force, higher force minus lower force, F2 minus of F1. F2 is what? 2kq square by R1. This means what? Kq square by R1. So if you are subtracting F2 minus F1, what you will get? Kq square divided by R square, you will get it. Kq square divided by R square. Okay, this is the total force on the body number C. So I can see F net is equal to Fc. Now we look into the question. Two equally charged identical metal plate spheres A and B repel each other with a force of F. So first, if A and B will be here, if A and B will be here, what is the force between A and B? K into Q square by R square. Now the attractive force between the two body FAB is given in the question as F. Whatever we are getting for the net force on the charge C, that is called Fc, this is also equal to F. So our question to the answer is option number A. A means what? Total force will be equal to the net force on the body. So which is matches with option number A. Option number A, right? Let me look. Option A. F 3 by 4, F by 2, F by 4. So F is the answer. Option number A. Fc will be equal to F. We'll move to the next question. Question number 4. In the figure, diagram is given. Net electric flux through the area A is given by phi equal to E dot A. This is which law? Gauss's law. When system is in air medium. On immersing the system in water, electric flux through the area. So flux in air is given E dot A. What is the general equation of electric field? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R square into area. Epsilon 0, this I have told relative permittivity of a medium while I am taking Coulomb's law, right? So this is for an air medium. Okay, so flux in air. Now flux, it is immersed in some liquid. So flux in a liquid medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon m permittivity of a medium Q by R square into A. All other factors are not changing. Medium is changed means this will change. I told epsilon m divided by epsilon 0 is called epsilon r. In our third or fourth some video we have done this part. Epsilon m divided by epsilon 0 is equal to epsilon r. Ideally, normal case, epsilon r value is greater than 1. If you are doing like this one, I can say epsilon m will be equal to epsilon 0 into epsilon r. Normal case, epsilon m greater than epsilon 0. If epsilon m is greater means this is greater. If this is greater means what will happen? Flux will be reducing. So comparable to epsilon 0, epsilon m is higher. If it is higher means flux in the liquid will be getting reduces. So which will be reduces means decreases. So this means which is matching with your option number D. Option D is the right answer for the fourth question. Let's move to the next one. Okay. The fifth one. the fifth question. ABC is an equilateral triangle. Charges plus Q are placed at each of the corners as shown in the diagram. Electric field intensity at the center O will be what? We will see the diagram. We will draw the diagram for our purposes. So we have an A will be here, B will be here and C will be here. And we have at the centroid point at O point will be there, which is at a distance of R meter away from each of the corners. We have placed plus Q, we have placed plus Q, we have placed plus Q. All charges are placed will be here. What is the electric field intensity here? This was the question. So while looking to this one, electric field intensity I am going to find out at this point. Listen very carefully. Electric field, let me take another color for better understanding. So electric field intensity plus Q charges, electric fields are intensity are away from the charges. So electric field intensity due to plus Q is like this. So this I have one electric field, and the electric field due to the charge at C is electric field lines are going away. So the electric field is like this. This is also E, because all are at same distance, all are at the same distance and same magnitude of charge. So the E value of this value equal to this value. Here also charge will be there. So electric fields are not coming inside, electric fields are always going outside. So this is electric field E. Okay. This is like a kind of a fan leaf, right? So each of the fan leaf angle is what? 120 degree, 120 degree, and this is 120 degree. Here I keep this vector here. I need to find out the total electric field at this point. So I am going to find out the electric field intensity between these two vectors. I am going to find out. So what is the formula? Resultant. This is R, root of A square plus B square, right? So which means I am writing E square plus 2A1A2. So AB, or A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So what is cos theta? What is the angle between them? Cos 120 degree. So which become what? 2E square plus 2E square into cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. So this will be cancelled. So 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So 2E square minus E square is E square, which is equal to E. So which means resultant will be equal to E. Now if you look into this diagram, one electric fields are going upward, another electric fields are going downward. What is the total electric field? The resultant electric field will be equal to E minus E, which is equal to what? 0. There are two electric fields are vector quantity. One is directing upward, another one is directing downward. So upward resultant is equal to E and downward is already E will be there. So total electric field will be equal to 0. So we find the resultant of these two. This is acting like this and already one will be there. Here I don't want to find resultant. This is one way. If some student is doing, okay, this is I taken as one vector. So then you have to find the resultant between these two. In that case also this field will be like this. So any two you can consider, other one you can leave it out and you can find the resultant. So the total electric field intensity at that point will be equal to 0. So this is matching with your option number D. Option D is the right answer for question number 5th one. Okay. Let's move to the question number 6th one. Question number 6. What is question number 6 is speaking? An electric dipole is placed in a uniform electric field. This we have learned, right? And an electric dipole is placed in a uniform electric field. The dipole will experience us, which is a matches with these options. First one, force that will displace us, no. If a dipole is placed in a uniform electric field, it will never experience a force. If a dipole is placed in a non-uniform electric field, it may experience a force. So here there is no chance of force. So first option is wrong. Second option, a force that will displace us, no force. So B is also wrong. Third one, C, a torque which will rotate it without a displacement. When a displacement will come, when something is moving, in order to move linearly, linear motion required a force. So without a displacement indicate there is no force, but there is a torque. So that is the answer. Answer to the question is option number C. Option C is the right answer. In a uniform electric field, torque is not equal to 0 ideally, but force is equal to 0. Torque, I cannot say this is may or may not. Okay, I have to say depends upon the angle, but force is always equal to 0. There is no displacement. Torque which will rotate and force it will no. Fourth option, D option is what I have read now. So no chances of force at all. So here answer is equal to option number C. Let's move to the next one. Seventh question. A uniform electric field E exists along a positive x-axis. The work done in moving the charge. Okay. Charge is given. Let's write some quantity. 0.5 coulomb is given through a distance. So some distance x will be given along the x-axis 2 meter along the directions making an angle theta equal to 60 degree with x-axis. So the work will be equal to 10 joule, magnitude of electric field. So what is work? General formula. Work will be equal to F dot S. This we are normally learn it in our work power energy chapter, right? Work into displacement. In school also we are learning the same story. So what is F dot S? Fs cos theta, angle between force and displacement. If you look will be here, what is 60 degrees given? Along the direction a force, the work done in moving the charge 0.5 coulomb through a distance 2 meter along the direction making an angle, which means this force with respect to the direction of displacement making an angle equal to 60 degree. So that is given there. So now we'll substitute. What is work? Force. Force will be equal to QE, electrostatic force, into displacement into cos theta. All the factors are given. We can substitute. Work will be equal to 10 joule. I am not writing the unit. Anyway, we need the magnitude 10 joule. Q is 0.5 into electric field is, no, it's not given. We have to find it out. Displacement is 2 meter and cos of 60 degree. So cos of 60 degree. So 10 equal to 1 by 2 into E into 2 into 1 by 2. So this 2 and 2 cancel. 10 is equal to E by 2 and E is equal to 20. E is equal to 20. What is the unit of this one? Electric field. F is equal to, F will be equal to QE, right? QE. So Q equal to F by Q. F in the unit Newton. So it is Newton per coulomb. Newton per coulomb is the right answer for this question. Newton per coulomb is one of the unit, but it is not given, will be there. And answer is 20. So another unit, this you will learn it in potential also. There is one formula. You don't want to remember it now. E is equal to V by T. E is equal to V by T. V means voltage divided by meter, volt per meter. This is the another formula of electric field. This is related with the potential. This we will learn it while we are going to the next topic of capacitance chapters. But here, that's what the instead of unit Newton per coulomb, volt per meter is written in the question. So answer D is the right answer for question number 7. Answer is D. Okay. Question number 8. Which one of the following graph represent the variation of electric field with the distance r from the center of a charged spherical conductor? Spherical means conductor. I told spherical conductor, hollow conductor, solid conductor, all are same group. Inside it is empty, kali, nothing will be there. Only for solid non-conducting sphere, inside it is filled with charges. So inside no charges. So in case of a spherical conductor, which of the following graph will be represent? As no conductor, inside it is empty. This is a 1. So inside it is empty. Only charges are present at outside. So what is the graph of this one? Inside it is empty. Charges are present at the surface. Then it is decreases. So E is proportional to 1 by R square. E in will be equal to 0. This is matches with which one? Option